What's up, guys? I want to show you guys how I've been solo farming the arena. Overall, I think this is a very efficient way of doing it. Definitely better than paying someone to do it, unless you're like a super rich boy. I highly recommend that you start doing this over pretty much any group setup, unless you can easily get a group without any competition. Although I'd probably recommend doing this after you get your most of your prebis and also AV exalted. So first I'm just gonna let this run play. Obviously you're gonna need this Shadowforge key. So I'm gonna let the run play, and then you guys can see the strategy, and then it's gonna make more sense later when I talk about what gear, consumables, and talents you guys should be bringing for this farm. So basically you're just gonna kill this one fire guard. Don't worry about the other fire guard. You don't have to kill him. You can just run around him. Alright, so we'll speed up through this. Yeah, so in this footage, I'm basically just wearing a bunch of previous gear. And obviously I'm AV exalted. So you're going to charge that guy, hamstring them both, and then you're going to run to this torch. And I would highly recommend that you practice this jump beforehand, because it is harder than it looks. And with practice, you should be able to get like 80 to 90% consistency. It's about what I get. So if you're getting stuck here, you should practice the jump some more, and use some reference points on the walls and for aiming your jump. Okay, so the arena event has started. It's worth noting that you're basically on a time gate right now, so it's important that you go fast here, which is why it's important to reset those guys. Otherwise, you would have to just kill them. But I mean, why would you want to do that when you can just reset them? What I've found in my testing is that there seems to be some RNG involved, or some kind of pattern that I haven't really noticed, where like the time gate is kind of weird. I'll get more into that later, I guess. But the point is, you want to basically kill these first 3 minions as fast as possible. Okay, so you're basically just going to be kiting them around this ledge, and you're going to try to get a big juicy sweeping strikes whirlwind combo. And then you're just going to run away and then bandage, basically. And that's pretty much it, until you kill him. So I really messed up here. I bandaged right when I was hitting the last tick of the poison, which is really stupid. So I just said fuck it, and I popped the potion, because it's really that important that you get it. I mean, sometimes it seems like sometimes you have more time than on other attempts that I've done. So you just don't really want to risk it, because when you're doing this, you are going to be you're going to be locked out of instances. It usually takes me about 8 minutes to do a successful run where I do not get Gorosh as the boss, and I obviously do not kill any bosses other than Gorosh, because that's just very bad gold per hour. You would rather just get all your 5 instances without Gorosh, and then go do something else other than farm instances. So something else I can mention. I didn't really do it in this video, but when you're going to pull the next pack, I like to use grenades, because they're farther range than the bow. So it's nice for a few reasons. Basically, you don't have to go in range of the spectators, even though you technically can go on the kind of the ledge by the spectators. Here, I'll pause real quick. you can go on the sledge and not aggro the spectators and like shoot pretty much anything in the arena with your bow. But you can hit like all the way over here with a grenade, whereas like you can only hit over here with a bow. I don't remember if I did it this run. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, that's right. Because the spiders were like right there. Okay, anyway. So here comes Gorosh. When the boss spawns, you have plenty of time to heal up in my testing. I tested with Grizzle. He just sat there like an idiot for like 2 minutes while I just sat up on top of the arena. And so important to note, these guys will not, they're not like aligned, so you can totally just shoot him. It doesn't even matter. So basically it's going to be the same strategy for Gorosh. You're just going to, except you're obviously not going to trade with him because he hits like a truck. So, and I actually fucked that up really bad in this video, and I got a little bit close to dying. So you're just going to shoot him with your bow. The best way, basically, to get some damage in other than from bow shots that I found is to pop Berserker Rage when he's coming in, and then that's going to generate a shit ton of rage because obviously you're taking a lot of damage. And then you also spend a lot of rage by doing a Heroic Strike plus Mortal Strike, or just Nano Attack plus Mortal Strike. And that's going to speed this up a lot. And by the way, this whole run was like 15 minutes, 15 and a half minutes. And that's why I say it's an efficient farm. Because, man, you are so happy to lock out instances as a solo warrior doing this. And, like, even though this battle takes so long, I still call that an efficient farm. Because, like, just imagine you could kill Gorosh like 4 times in an hour, which is, like, totally insane. Alright, so let's just speed this up a little bit more. I mean, it's really brain dead. This battle is just not difficult at all. But we can talk about talents, I guess. I mean, it's not really that complicated. You're just gonna go into arms. Make sure to get the parry. Parry's obviously very good when a bunch of mobs are hitting you because it's gonna greatly increase your DPS as well as damage mitigation. You want to have. Sorry, let me just load up. Wow, and I can show you guys. You want to have sweeping strikes, of course. And another important that's very important for this, I think, is anger management. Because there is going to be a lot of time where you're just sitting around doing nothing, but you're in combat. You're going to be generating a lot of rage. You're going to get a shit ton of value out of that talent. So it's very important that you take that. And then I just went into Fury for the Enrage. You could probably do well with the armor as well. Let me see something. Okay, good. This is showing. Yeah, so these are my talents that I'm using. I probably would have gotten 5 out of 5 in this, but whatever, it's not a big deal. You could get the increased armor value. That would be good. This is also good. Gives you more health. Yeah, not really important. This stuff is important. The big ticket items are the sweeping strikes, obviously, and the anger management and the parry. Alright, so let's talk about gear. Here's my gear right here. If you want to compare it to me. Lionheart helm, that's really good. Obviously, a lot of people aren't going to have that when they're, still getting their Priebus. This is my second character, so I can afford it. And I pretty much am just wearing a bunch of Priebus / not even Priebus gear. This item is totally amazing, and you should totally get it if you're not Exalted Plus with AV, because this trinket has 1% dodge over the rank 5 insignia, and it restores 1 more health per second, which is not a big deal. But you can see I have 12 health every 5 from this Troll's Blood Potion, Mighty Troll's Blood Potion. So together, these two are giving me 20 health per second. So that's, per 5 seconds. So that's 4 health every second, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And like, just imagine how much time I spent in combat during that run. Hodge, obviously, if you have it, is good for pretty much anything. I would recommend that you bring your PvP trinket. It's going to be helpful against the spiders. Heart of Noxian, I think, is really good. The Nature Resist is really good against pretty much all of the phase 1 adds that actually pose a threat to you. And real quick, I could just go into that. So basically the hardest mobs for me have been the thunder lizards, the spiders, the snakes, and the scorpions. The bats and the beetles are very, very easy. You just use the strategy that I did, basically. Like, it's very straightforward. You just go up there, you cleave them all down, you run away, you bandage, you go back up, you cleave them, rinse and repeat. But let's go back to the video, and I'll show you guys what I do for the others, or I'll just, kind of try to tell you guys if I can get a good angle here. Sorry. Okay, so oh, this is too fast. Okay, so let's talk about what I do against the snakes. After I look, okay, so basically the snakes are gonna come down. I usually just save recklessness for either the snakes or the lizards or the spiders or the scorpions, and I just hold it if I'm fighting the other guys. Basically, for the snakes, I like to bring them down here in this area where they're gonna have to run into melee range, so I'm running out of their line of sight. Pop sweeping strikes, get a huge recklessness combo, and I pretty much wipe them out instantly. And then I don't know if I explained this before, but when you pull the second pack of little adds, that basically stops the timed portion. So you no longer have to worry about playing fast. Now it's all about playing safe. As soon as you engage the second little mobs, you're no longer time gated. So I pop recklessness on the first pack so that I'm able to wipe them out easily, and then go play safe on the second pack. So and then if you're not able to just kill the snakes in one go, what I found is that if you're basically like along this ledge and you're like totally against the wall, you will actually not be hit by, like, they will not start casting on you. But if you're like over here, they'll start casting on you. You gotta be like over here. Even as a fat torrent, they will not cast on me. The lizards, however, will, probably because they have a bigger hitbox. So what I do against the lizards is I go like all the way. When I bring them back, I like come over here, I make the jump, I go all the way over here. And the lizards are kind of weird, actually. They all have the same names, but some of them only ever melee, and some of them only use ranged attacks for the most part. So I basically bring them over here so that, well, okay, let's just talk about the Thunder Lizard's abilities. The Thunder Lizards are very dangerous because they have Thunder Stomp, which slows your movement, and the cooldown on that Thunder Stomp is very low. So you do not want to be fighting them by the area where you're going to be making the jump. Even though you might be tempted to LOS them, it's not a good idea. Because if you get permaslowed, and by the way, Trinket does not remove that permaslow, because it's just considered like an attack speed debuff, basically, even though it also slows you. So you can easily die if you get permaslowed. So anyway, I bring them all back here. I just let them cast on me from over here. That's fine. And then I just start cleaving whatever ones come over here. If there's just one, I just hit the one. They don't do that much magic damage. You're gonna resist a lot of it, since you're a higher level. So, and then okay, so let's talk about safe spots to bandage against those thunder lizards. Right here. So basically, as long as your head is not above this ledge right here, you can stand right here and bandage. You can also stand on the other side of this wall, like right here, and bandage. And they pretty much are not going to be able to cast on you, like all the way on this, like to the rear of, if they're to the rear of where my character is right now, they will not be able to cast on you. So those are your safe spots for bandaging after you did your damage over in that area that I showed before. So that's basically the strategy for thunder lizards. For the snakes, I talked about those already. The safe spots are basically the same. For the snakes, I actually like to just bring them down here, even the second pack, because you can still run away from them pretty easily after you did a bursty combo. Even without recklessness, even if you don't kill any of them, you can just do a lot of damage. Then you come up here, you just face towards them as you're moving, so they don't daze you and yada yada. They make the jump, and then you can just run all the way over here to bandage as they're making their way all the way across. Like they're moving back towards you. You just run over there and you run over here and bandage. You can also go on this other side of this wall if you need to stall more. Like if you went over there and you have like a poison on you or something and you need to stall more, you just jump over here, go to over here, or go to this safe spot as I mentioned. Both work for the snakes as well. Okay, for the scorpions, basically they're really annoying. They're not necessarily dangerous. You use the same strategies to kill the beetles and the bats. You just stand here and you cleave them. It's just annoying because they have the attack speed debuff and they also have a giant health pool. And there's only 2 of them, so you're not really getting full value out of your combos, out of your whirlwind. And you might even have to jump off early before you get full value out of your sweeping strikes. So that's why they suck. Just be aware that the scorpions have like a 25-second slowing poison that they cast rarely. So you do want to be using this strategy because it's pretty much going to take them like the entire duration of the poison to run over here. So like, I don't know, the point is, if you get poisoned and you're low on life and like they're already coming towards you, or like they're already in this area, like you're pretty screwed. Unless you have this. For the spiders, I like to take Heart of Noxian just because hopefully I resist more of the poison damage, or just resist the poison flat out, and then I can also remove poison. The spiders also web you, so it's a good idea to have Trinket. I mean, technically you could get perma webbed and die. So having 2% extra crit over having a trinket is just not really worth the risk, given that you have a limited number of instances per hour. So you're going to be hitting cap regardless of your damage probably. So just don't take the risk. Use Insignia against the spiders. You're not in combat when you're up top on the arena. Every time you beat a pack of mobs, you are put out of combat, so you'll be able to switch trinkets. Let's see, other tips. Okay, gear, consumables. We talked about gear. Consumables I like to bring. Let's see what I have in my bags. I bring, most important is to bring a shit ton of rune cloth. because obviously you're going to be bandaging pretty much on cooldown when you're fighting those packs. So bring a shit ton of rune cloth. I like to bring a bunch of superior health potions. You know, I use them like if I'm not really in danger, but you know, I just kind of want to I just want to speed things up because you're not really able to go in safely, you know, when you're like 30% life, but you know, 50% life, you know, I feel comfortable going in. So those are nice to have. Major healing potions also nice to have, you know, if you're like feeling the pressure and you know, when you're killing that first pack and you are time gated, you want to have these on hand so you can keep pushing and make it quickly through the first pack. Okay. So I'm actually using a quiver because in the case that Gorash spawns, it's basically just going to increase my DPS a lot. That's really all it is. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did use quite a bit of shots on those spiders as well. Because as I said, it is a time-gated event. It sucks that you have to do so much work to do so little damage, but you know, you gotta kind of get through that first pack quickly. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for now. So yeah.